Ain't my fault the ball they have had too much air in it. Like, whatever. But to answer your question, I really don't care. This is what it is.
Like even if you get suspended, it is what it
Have
is.
I ever got suspended for technical fouls?
No. You always seem to.
Probably won't happen again.
Yeah.
Well, the initial question I'm more so was just asking, like, how did you change your mindset when you're up against it?
You just know what you're facing and you make adjustments.
Kind of going back to that All-Star thing. What is your All-Star criteria? Like if you're voting for All-Star, what's kind of your criteria?
My criteria really don't matter. 'Cause if it was about my criteria, yeah, it's all about how can we make the game better for the offensive player. That's what this league is about. Just part of the reasons the ratings probably suck. So, you get teams in a bonus and guys just run into somebody and get 2 free throws. I don't want to see that shit. So yeah, my criteria really don't matter.
What's been the hardest thing for you? Do you think this season offensively? Is it just the supporting cast and the younger guys kind of figuring out your spots with a different cast, or what do you think?
In continuity and our offense has changed quite a bit. Even throughout this year, it's changed quite a bit from time to time. So, just trying to figure that out.
How's that process been? Just over the past couple months.
Just like anything else in the world, it has its good days and bad.
Let me know if you've been asked this already. I'm sorry I'm coming late. Steve was talking about how with different lineups this season, sometimes it can be tough for guys to know where they stand, to get the energy up for games, and just find a role. Have you noticed that a little bit? There's been 21 different lineups to start games.
Yeah, it's been a little bizarre. You as a player, I don't care who you are, how good you are, you get comfortable with certain things, you get accustomed to certain things, and kind of find a groove within that. When it's constantly changing, it's tough to do that. But that's the circumstances that we're facing, so just deal with it.
Do you still have moments where you look out, and you're like, okay, no Steph, no Clay, no Kevon, guys I played with?
I wouldn't necessarily say that, that I look out there at tip-off, but sometimes you have those reminders of where you may see an action and you're, ready to make that play and, it's not quite there because it's not the same continuity. So, our offense has really always been about reads. And so certain reads that you'll make, it's not quite there because that continuity and flow isn't there. But it's what it is.
Is that speed coming along? The things you're talking about that used to be second nature, is this group starting to get up? Or have they gotten
Some of it, but it's tough. I think Steve's first year we won a championship and we still didn't have it all the way figured out. So, it's tough.
I've seen you working with Keith on various little things. How's that going?
It's going well. I definitely can feel the improvements and just keep working and keep trying to get better.
Do you have a certain plan, different skills, adding?
Yeah. Definitely want to continue to add some things, but continue to work on them through the rest of this year and through the summer, and hopefully I'll play in the Olympics. That's a goal of mine, and continue to work through that and on through the next season. The beat never stops. It just keep going on.
Richard Sherman's drawn some comparisons to you just in terms of his leadership style. What have you thought about what he's brought that 49ers?
He's brought a championship mentality to that team. He's brought an extremely high IQ to that team, and in terms of competitive nature, he's extremely high in that category as well. And your team is usually going to take on either that mindset or the complete opposite. And that team has taken on that mindset, and that's why they are in the position that they're in.
Do you see a little bit of yourself in him at times?
As far as a competitor, as far as his IQ from his position and my IQ from mine, not being afraid to speak up, definitely, and most importantly, he's a winner.
What do your Steelers need to do to get to that level of winning again? What do your Steelers need to do to get back to that level?
Oh, we'll win again. We make a couple moves here and there. Still curtain to be back, be good.
If your Steelers don't make it, are you at least happy the 49ers?
It's good to see the 49ers make it, but I'm not just going to be like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, no, I'm a Steelers fan. I want the Steelers to make it. But obviously, being out here in the Bay Area, you always want to see teams from the Bay do good. And so, it's definitely good to see the Niners having the success that they're having, and see if they close it out. Obviously, for me, my brother's on Kansas City, Frank Clark, so definitely rooting for him to get a Super Bowl. No disrespect to the Niners. It's not personal or anything like that, but, when you got somebody you're as close to as I am with Frank, want to see him do well. So, I'm definitely pulling for him. But, yeah, I mean, also would love to see the Niners win, So doing that, bringing the championship back to the Bay would be great. But, yeah, it's a little jaded, a little twisted for me because, I want to see my brother do well.
Why are you a Steelers fan as opposed to a Lions fan?
I've always been a Steelers fan. Growing up, they were black and gold, and like the high school I always wanted to go to, which I ended up going to, was black and gold. So like that was a connection. And then Jerome Bettis, I love Jerome Bettis, the bus, and he's from the state of Michigan, and so I would always cheer for them. And then as Bettis was retiring, I already kind of had some love for the Steelers, and then they drafted LaMarr Woodley. From Saginaw, Michigan, who I was extremely close with growing up. And it's just like, wow, it made sense, and just continued to cheer for that team. And then they drafted Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State, and it's just like, this just makes too much sense.
Have you been following the Rooney Rule conversations in the NFL? Mike Tomlin is one of the only black head coaches. That rule is supposed to get underrepresented people these interviews, but the NFL keeps on.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a bit of it. I think it's one of those technicalities or cover your ass things, like, oh, well, you have to interview some percent of your coaches you interview, some got to be, what is it?
It's something you have to at least interview one
Yeah,
coach because
yeah.
you're so represented. But do you feel like that's
Yeah, so we literally saw somebody interview Marvin Lewis this year and then hire the coach there. Like, it's one of those things that, they do to, like, check the box. It is what it is.
same as it always?
Yeah. It's a check the box thing.